Hey everyone, welcome to the show, the podcast where we tell the real stories of women moving freight, leading teams, and building power in one of the toughest industries out there. I'm Hannah Herkes, founder and CEO of Boss Lady Logistics, and every week I sit down with women who are doing the work on the floor, in the boardroom, and everywhere in between. This is not about titles or highlight reels. It's about how we got here, what we learned the hard way, and how we're changing the industry by showing up exactly as we are. And if you're enjoying these conversations, make sure to hit the follow button so you don't miss what's next. Let's get into it. My guest today is Serena Kanline, Miss Freight Broker Extraordinaire. I can't wait to get into this. Thank you so much for joining us, Serena.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here.
Awesome. All right, well, let's just go right into what got you into logistics. Let's hear that story.
Um, I wish it were like a cool story, but I have bartended my entire life. I was a career, I loved it. I was really good at it. You know, it allowed me to kind of stay home with my kids, bartend at night, and then when their dad and I split up, I was only doing it when he was with them. And then they went to real school, like, elementary school, and it just was easier for long term, and I did really enjoy it, and I just kind of outgrew it. We grew, we grew, we moved like an hour north of the bar that I was working at that I loved and like never wanted to leave. And the drive just got so bad that I was like, I gotta figure something out. I just need something that I can do from home. My kids are like in middle school. I need to be like present with them before they like leave me, right? And I'm very adamant on like, I'm like the field trip mom. I want to volunteer in the classroom, so I like to be present while my kids are of age before they're like, ew, mom. My son reached that age last year where he was like, you can't volunteer at school. And I was like, ugh, rude, but whatever. And I ended up like one of my husband's coworkers, I think their roommate, works at the company that I work for now. And when I left bartending, I kind of got into a situation that, like, I trusted the person that was selling me this job. That didn't work out, which is fine. And then I was like out of a job. I was really avoiding going back to bartending. And this friend of a friend was like, I can bring her on here, see if she likes it, but it's a 1099 role. And it was one of those things where my husband was like, I think you should just try it. He has a very good job. He was like, I can handle things while you get this rolling, but I think if you give it a fair chance, you could be really good at it. And I was like, I don't know, but what can it hurt, right? And then I learned that like it's very salesy. I'm not like pushy and salesy. Like I just like exist over here. Like if you need me, here I am. I'm never going to bother you. I think I made one cold call in the very early stages and I hung up and cried. She was so mean to me. It's neither here nor there. But so in the very early, like the first few months, I ended up having my first few customers were old bar regulars or like friends from when I bartended. That just like one was like a paver guy that I think I was running his pavers across Florida for like $50. Fine. It got me in the door. And then one of my other bar regulars just reached out to me to be like, hey, we miss you. How are you? And I was like, oh, I'm good. Like, this is what I'm doing now. And he was like, oh, we can use you over here. And I was like, oh, okay. And then it became apparent to me that like there's more people in your life that might utilize something like this than you realize.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had no idea what a freight broker was. I don't know my left from my right. If you tell me east, I'm like, tell me a McDonald's. I get lost in my 2 mile town. I had no semblance of the industry, what it meant, nothing. But those few people, because they know me in real life and trust me and, gave me a shot, it got my feet in the door. And then I had an old coworker from years past, like a lifetime ago. I had like posted it on my Instagram that like this is what I was doing. Just because like, I don't know, what can it hurt? And she reached out to me and she was like, my husband's company needs somebody that does what you do now. And I was like, oh, okay. So again, because she knows me in real life, she trusts me, they gave me a shot and it happened to be pretty high volume right off the bat. And that kind of like got my feet wet. And then it just kind of spiraled out of control.
Yeah. As it does, right?
As it does. But the first few months were pretty hairy. It got to the point where I was like clockwork once a month crying. Like, I can't do this. I can't. I'm never going to make it. And my husband was like, okay, we can give it until February. And if you're not making enough money by February, we can pivot. And I think the end of December was the first time. I started in September of 2024. That December was the first time I got top sales at the
Wow.
company that I work for.
Wow.
And then I wasn't making top margin, but I was doing a lot in over the road, full truckload. So, and then it just, I think that first, like, I did it gave me the confidence to, like, keep going.
Yeah.
And at that point, like, I work really closely with her. I run all of their freight for all of their vendors. They've referred me to a couple of people. Again, because they know me, they trust me. I work my butt off. I always make things right. I have paid for things out of pocket. They don't want me to, but I do it anyway. So I think I'm a relationship girl. Like, I was that way when I bartended. Like, I am still friends with people that I had as regulars 20 years ago that will still check in on me, reach out to me. Same, I do them. Like, they've come to visit me in different avenues of my life. So I'm like a long-term, I like build relationships. So I think that part of this industry is where I enjoy it. Like, I like to be able to call my customers or send them a ridiculous meme
Yeah.
and they like think I'm funny.
Yeah, I mean, you're developing like a personal relationship, right? And I think that's
Yeah.
so important in this industry because reputation is everything. And it's not just who you know, but who knows you. And to your point about, just making a post and then having someone reach out, and knowing you in real life, trusting you, knowing that you're loyal, that whatever you're doing, you're going to give 110%.
Yeah.
That is like the thing that I think people, especially salesmen, get hung up on because, you can call as many people as you want and secure an account. Does it mean that you can actually service it?
Right.
Well, that it remains to be seen. And so I think it's really important, especially for, people that are listening who are just now joining the industry, don't get down on yourself. You say you were crying like every
Yeah.
month. Like I was literally crying like every day when I first started this business. It's hard.
It's
Like
rough.
it is rough. People talk to you in ways that you don't ever want to be talked to. And how do you overcome that and then shift yourself to the next call and be able to be on 110% and be able to give the next person that you're talking to your
Yeah.
full attention without allowing all of that stuff to like, take personal and everything. So, so when we talk about, being able to do more and being capable, I know that it comes with a lot of challenges, right? Especially as women in this industry, there's a lot of challenges. So can you give us like one example of a challenge that you faced that actually helped shape the career that you now have?
I think that I grew up very poor. I was then decided that I wanted to be a single mother when my kids were very, very young, like 1 in 3 babies. and we had no, like, there was no like splitting of the assets. Okay. I think we had a combined $1,000 at the time, my ex-husband and I. So there was no like alimony. We split custody. So there was no child support. I just made this decision for good reason and had to figure it out. I have always figured it out. My mother raised me that way. My mother is the same way. I have learned how to do, like, I know how to, because my parents helped me buy a house after a couple of years. I was like renting here and there, and my parents are very like, we want to set you guys up for success as much as we can. So I bought like this tiny little house in Orlando. It was just me and the kids. I learned how to do some super random stuff. Like, I know how to spline a screen. Why do I know that? Because I wasn't about to call a man to come save me. Now I'm like, babe, that trash can needs to go out. But for like 10 years, it was literally just me and my kids. Mm-hmm. So it was like, I mean, I rewired lighting fixtures. Mm-hmm. Like, I have a very weird set of skills now just because I'm going to figure it out. So I think now I get things thrown at me. I mean, I was in the trenches all morning. They're all last minute. I never know where these things are going beforehand. I am lucky if I get 48 hours notice. And it's not one truck that has to go to Texas. It's 8 trucks that have to go to Wisconsin yesterday. And I'm like, okay. But I keep like, they throw these things at me and I keep doing it and but they're also not cheap people. Mm-hmm. So they're just figure it out.
Yeah. And you're there to provide that solution. And I think,
I do.
yeah.
Well,
and that's
like a figure it out kind of girl.
Right. And well, that's why you're so successful at this job. Right. And I'm a figure it out girl too. Yeah. I have a very special set of skills of like, why do I know how to lay floor? Don't ask me.
Yeah.
Why do I know how to like put up a wall of drywall? Don't ask me. I just had to figure it out. And I think
do it.
Right. And that's what makes us so successful in this industry, because a lot of it is just figure it out. A lot of it is like, I've never, had this happen before. We had a turkey roll down a hill one time. I love telling this story, but because it's so unique, we had a turkey roll down the side of a mountain and hit a driver's windshield. How do you know what I mean? There's no
like a live turkey,
like an actual turkey, like an actual like live turkey roll down the side of a mountain when a driver was driving on the side of a mountain and hit his windshield, cracked his windshield. And so, to get a call like that is like, oh, a turkey just hit my windshield. Like, okay, great. That's
at first
super
glance, you're probably like, sure, bro.
No, really. And he sent us a picture of this turkey just like lodged into his windshield. And I was like, poor turkey. But at the same time, how do we fix this? How do we solve this? Like, what can we do to help this driver who has a very urgent delivery? And now needs to get his windshield fixed. And that's the thing about this industry. Like, you're going to be thrown like these curveballs. And what do you do with it? Right?
So I recently had it brought to my attention that there are some dude bros in the industry that don't think maybe they don't think I've earned my spot. I don't know. I'm not a real agent according to them. Not sure why, whatever. Well, I ended up telling this story to my biggest customer, well, both of them, and they were like, what the hell? And I was like, I don't know. Almost immediately after I told my big customer that, he sent me a truck request. And I was like, I'll call a real broker. And he was like, ha ha ha, shut up. Like, I need these. And I was like, fine, I'm on it. So yesterday, we had trucks that were loading very urgently to Wisconsin, 4 of them. I had a separate truck that was just going to a local Texas run like 200 miles away. He gets there. 3 of my Wisconsin trucks get loaded, and I get a phone call from the yard that we load out of, my customers, because they all have my cell phone number. Okay. Hey, Miss Serena, when we have a truck here that's saying they're going to Wisconsin, but we already loaded 4 today. I said, no, you didn't. You loaded 3. I hear them like shuffling through paperwork.
Yeah.
And I ended up being like, no. And they're like, this truck. And I'm like, that truck went 200 miles down the road to a different project. Did you put Wisconsin stuff on that truck? And they were like, yes. And I was like, okay, call you right back. So I call my carrier. I'm like, don't let them unload him. He's like, they're putting the forklift in. I was like, nope, stop. You have to go back. I'm doing all of this without my customer's knowledge. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm like, go back. Call the guys back. And I'm like, okay, this is what we've done today. This truck went here. And they're going, yes, ma'am. This truck went here. Yes, ma'am. This one. And I go down the list that I've got on my computer. I said, okay, that truck's coming back. His stuff's going on that truck that's waiting up to Wisconsin. Pull it together. I basically scolded 2 grown men that were like shaking on the phone, telling me that they basically messed up big time. Mm-hmm. I text my customer and I say, get bail money. He's like, in a meeting, what's up? I'm like, we'll talk when you're done. He calls me back and I talk him through it. And he's like, well, you know how you're a real broker? You figured all of that out and handled it before I even got on the phone with you. And I was like, yeah, what else was I going to do?
Exactly.
Let Wisconsin stuff sit in Red Oak, Texas?
Right. Let them unload that truck? Like, no, absolutely not.
And absolutely not. So it's just become like a very... I do get quiet moments every now and then. Knock on wood. Because I'm pretty sure my big customer has my phone bugged at this point. Because I say stuff like that and then he like spawns out of nowhere and he's like, I need 18 trucks tomorrow. And I'm like, do you? You heard me. But it's very, it is. And I think it's like, we're just women. So we're always going to figure it out.
Yeah.
And if I have to hold a group full of grown men that operate a yard every single day, if I have to hold all of their hands in a kumbaya circle, they call me mom. I'm like, yeah, I am your mom. On Sunday, I said, we have a lot going out tomorrow. Everybody go to bed. They said, what do you mean? Nobody knew. I sent them both truck requests. I said, matter of fact, everybody go to bed now. It was like 4:00. I was like, you're all asleep now.
That's incredible. I mean, and that's how you gain loyalty, right? And have the customers really trust you. And I think you've done that in a way that's very unique to you. Even though that's definitely how women operate in this industry for sure. You have your own style of doing it. And I think your customers definitely appreciate that. And I mean, that's incredible. And as women, finding our voice and being able to like hold firm and say, this is the plan, this is what I'm doing. Doesn't always come naturally for us women, right?
Yeah,
and
for sure.
And yeah. So like, what advice would you have, let's say, for like a woman who wants to join this industry?
I mean, I still am learning how to like ignore the dude bros, right? But a lot of it is just, I've always been like very loud and outspoken. I'm half Italian. I don't really have an issue with saying what's on my mind, but it also gets to a point where they do think that they know better. And that's okay. Like, a lot of these men have been operating this industry for, let's call it 50 years or whatever. And I think it irks them or hurts their ego or something. I have a lot of men that will go 10 toes down for me in this industry, that have my back no matter what, that I could call to hide a body right now. There are the few, right, that just can't handle the thought of a woman coming into this industry whether it be new or old. I have girlfriends that have been in the industry 15 years that still get treated this way by men every day.
Yeah.
They do something a little bit differently, they operate a little bit differently, and they either can't comprehend it because they've never been given that opportunity or been that blessed, I guess. I don't know. But it like irks them a little bit.
Absolutely. It's a challenge, right? Because historically, women were not in this industry. And now we are in a very, I mean, I want to say a very heavy way, but we are still super outnumbered. But there
Yeah.
are more of us now than there were 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And so I think that the natural way of doing things is being challenged. And
Yeah.
that's scary for a lot of people. A lot of people don't like change. A lot of people don't like, I mean, even like new technologies, we see that with AI nowadays. And, but, I like to remind everyone that when the light bulb first came out, people literally thought demons were going to come out of it. And so they wouldn't put it in their homes. And so we can attribute that to literally anything new in any industry ever.
Yeah.
Like it may seem scary. It may seem scary to some men that women are in this industry and we're being unapologetic and we have these voices and these boundaries that haven't been seen by the industry ever. But
Yeah.
in the long run, it's going to actually benefit because the most successful companies that I've worked with or have seen or have interactions with are either owned by women or run by women. And not to say that men aren't capable, but we do bring a
No.
different lens to the industry, the way that we see things, like our mom brains. And, we
Yes.
talk about our kids and we talk about creating and we talk about, figuring it out. Like the reason, at least for me, that I'm able to do that is because I have a mom brain.
Yeah.
And if my kids are having an issue or a challenge, I'm going to figure it out. And so that's definitely translated into it. So, yeah, I really loved everything that you said. It really, really resonated with me a lot. So let's get into real talk. I'm going to throw a curveball at you real quick, if that's
Oh no.
okay. So let's do some real talk where we say the things that no one really wants to say.
Okay.
So here's your real talk question. Have you ever felt like you had to change who you are to succeed in this industry?
No.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
I told you this before we started recording, and this might rattle some chains or something. I don't know. I have never. No, I wouldn't know how to fill out an RFQ if somebody asked me to. I have never done it. I'm at almost 2 years. I've I have given people a few lane quotes that have emailed me that I have spoken to. I have never filled out an RFQ. I operate regularly. I don't even go off DAT. The last time I sent a quote for something 6 months ago,
Yeah.
I am who I am, and my quality of life is more important to me than almost anything. I take that very seriously. No amount of money is going to make me sacrifice my quality of life, my integrity, or the person that I am. I'm at about $1 million in revenue a month, with give or take five customers, 3 of which are regular. The other 3 just pop in, 2 or 3 pop in when they need me for a machine that has to go somewhere, whatever. And 2 or 3 of them are all related. They were all referrals. My big one, you would consider a consignee lead. I didn't prospect him. I was just shipping to him regularly. Even my first big customer told him about me, and he was like, no, we don't care. Until he decided that he cared. And that's okay. I'm going to operate the way that I operate. I'm going to funny haha something when we're all stressed out. And you're either going to find me funny and charming or you're going to find me annoying. And if you find me annoying, then you just really want a transactional situation. And that's not how I operate.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I so can relate to that, and I so appreciate that because, I mean, you're going to get what you put out. And, you know, everything that we say may not be for everyone, and that's okay. It's for the people that it's for. And we can be unapologetic about it. And you know what I mean?
Sorry.
So
I told people a bunch of times, like, listen, I'm not the cheapest, but so I'm not even going to promise you that. I'm going to pay a good carrier exactly what they need. 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
I have somebody ask me, and I already know that I operate at like a pretty high level of carrier pay. So when people go beyond that, even with fuel right now, don't come for me. I know that fuel's high. We all know that fuel is high. I can then be like, that's crazy. Like, come back down to reality. I'm already paying $6 a mile.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Exactly.
But I just am and the other part of it is like, I have screenshots. It happened to me last week of dispatchers because my picture is in my email signature. Somebody said to me, because I have to be like, I can only accept the most professional and respectful drivers on the planet. Somebody said to me, sending the best driver for the most beautiful broker in the world. And I was like,
oh gosh. If you think that was a compliment, it wasn't. This is a profession.
Shut the fuck up. Like, geez, I don't have time, man. Like, we're at about once a week. To the point where somebody's going to be like, take your picture out of your email signature. No. I want people to know that I have a face.
Yes.
Men need to be able to control the urge to hit on women via email.
Yes.
In a professional setting.
I completely agree. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, just don't say it.
Yeah. And you shouldn't have to mute yourself and take your picture out just because someone can't control themselves.
Exactly where it is.
Yep. As you should.
It's on my LinkedIn. It's on my email signature. People get mad about it on my LinkedIn too. And I'm like, oh, well.
Yeah. Sorry. This is how I look.
Roll away.
Yep.
I said it on Levi's podcast. Sorry that I have a face. Just, you don't have to be weird about it.
Yeah. I completely agree. Keep it to yourself. You can have that thought in your head. Keep it to yourself.
Put it in your... I'm not going to say it.
Yeah.
Put it in the back of your head.
Exactly.
But the amount of times that, like... And I think it's gotten to the point where it's not crazy often, but, like, the way that I address it, I mean, I either ignore it or I'm like, listen, don't fuck with me.
Yeah. Let's keep it professional. Like, keep it on the high level.
On the phone was like, if you're like this normally, I'm afraid to hear you when things go wrong. And I said, yeah, keep that in your brain. Keep that fear all the way through this shipment. Log it in.
That's awesome. That's incredible, Serena. And like, what an incredible story you have. You are absolutely, truly a boss lady. And I will give you that title because not that I can give it out, but you are truly a boss lady. And I just love everything that you're doing. And I can't wait to see what you do in the future. You have so many dreams and so many passions and such a great understanding of what it actually takes to be successful in this industry. And that's really hard to come by. And for only being in here 2 years, I mean, if you asked me at 2 years, I would not be at that level. And so I really appreciate you coming on and talking with us. I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. Yeah, absolutely.
Make my head explode.
Awesome. All right. If today's conversation resonated with you, you are not alone. Go ahead and share this with someone who needs to hear it. And until next time, keep taking up space. I'm Hannah Herkis, founder and CEO of Boss Lady Logistics. Thank you so much to my new friend, Miss Serena, awesome freight broker. Find her on all the social medias, and we will see you later. Keep on keeping on. Bye-bye.